Well, hello there, and welcome to another training video. In this nugget, I'll be sharing with you on how to install WordPress in XAMPP. Now, the first thing you want to do is to make sure that your Windows 10 has an installation of XAMPP. And of course, from the control panel, you have activated Apache and MySQL. If you want to know how to install the XAMPP control panel into your computer, make sure to check some videos on the description. I have already explained how to install XAMPP into your Windows 10. Well, the first thing you'll want to do is to navigate into Google and search for WordPress. Now, remember there are two aspects of WordPress, WordPress.com, which allows you to create a blog website, and also WordPress.org, which allows you to select and download the WordPress CMS for use. I will select WordPress.org, and once it opens, I can navigate into the Get WordPress option at the very top right section. I can also get it here. And from the different versions that are there, at the time of recording this video, we had WordPress version 6.2.2. And that is what I really want. If you want lower versions of WordPress, you can navigate into the WordPress archive and get the other versions of WordPress. But for now, I just click on download WordPress 6.2.2 into my computer. Since it will take some time, I'll fast forward this video to where the download is complete. So once the download is complete, I'll navigate into my downloads folder and try to locate the WordPress distro that I have just downloaded. It happens to be this. So first thing is to move this WordPress distro into my XAMPP public file folder. I'll copy this WordPress and navigate to where I have already installed my XAMPP. It happens to be in my computer. Navigate into local disk C, and I have installed it in www. Double clicking into www, I will navigate into the htdocs. This is where my public files are located. So inside the public files, I will create a new folder so that I don't interfere with the different pieces that are in here already. And I will call it new folder, and the name will be test. So anytime I'm navigating into my WordPress distro, I will be directly logging into this test folder. I'll double click to open the test folder, and then I'll paste my WordPress in here. Then the next thing I'll want to do is to extract all the files in here. Once done, you realize I have a WordPress folder, which I don't really want. So I'll just double click to open and copy everything in here and navigate back into test because I want the test to be my root file. So I'll move everything into the test. And once the copying is done, I'll navigate into the control panel and select the admin for the MySQL. Remember, I can also navigate directly into my browser and type in localhost/myadmin. What we would like to do in the PHP myadmin is to set up a database and a user account that will be used by the WordPress installation we're about to deploy. So I'll navigate into the user account and I will create an account called test. So I'll navigate into user account, go to new user, add user account, and I will select the username to be test, just like our folder. The host should be any at this stage, and for the password, well, we'll just pick something random and very complicated, so I have to copy that and keep it somewhere safe. Once you're done with that, I will want to create a database with the same name and grant all privileges to this user, known as test. I can also navigate into the database option and create a new database and have all the user privileges linked to that new database. So I'll say yes, I'll want to create a new database with the same name called test, and I'll want to grant all access. And the kind of access that I'll want are linked to administration, to structure, and to data. Once I feel that all the details have been filled in correctly and I have copied my passwords in here, I will click on Go. So my database will populate and create a new test database and a new test user. So if I navigate into user account, I'll find there's a new user known as test who has access and all privileges to the test database. Having that done, I'll navigate into my browser and I will type localhost into the main index area and type test. This is where I have already populated my extracted WordPress files in my www folder. Now, automatically, I will be prompted by the WordPress installation interface that the first instance will want me to select the language of choice. The number of languages here, depending on how I'd like to deploy. I'll select English, United States, select Continue. Then it will ask me to have all this in check. We already know our database name, which is test. We already know our database username, which is test. The database password, which we had already set up. The host happens to be localhost by default. And of course, the prefix. So I'll click on Let's Go and configure some of the item. The database name will fill in as test. Fill in as test, put in the password. That was very complicated. The database host is localhost, and the prefix we want to have is WP for WordPress. That cuts default. I'll click on Submit and run the installation. So once this is done, I'll be prompted by the common WordPress interface that allows me to set the site title, which I'll call test, the username, which I'll still call test, and a very strong password. Well, I'll want to copy that strong password. I can also enter an email address, and of course, to allow or discourage search engine from seeing my installation. I will click on Install WordPress. Oopsie, I didn't provide my email. I just do sample mail at gmail.com. I'll click on install password or install WordPress. It will take a few minutes to go through this stage. And voila, WordPress has just been installed. And if I just navigate directly into my test, which is localhost/test, this is my WordPress interface. And the best thing is I can navigate into the wp-admin just to see if my WordPress has access to my database. And here we go. I have the ability to change items inside my new installed localhost WordPress. Well, thanks for following along, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next nugget.